All right, then, since we successfully finished this, the category form, now we are going to work on this, the image option. So basically on this video, I use the upload thing, but the problem with this upload thing is, let me show you what the problem is. So over here, if I get back over here, and if I choose this edit option, and if I choose this edit, and if I try to choose any file, images, banner, let me choose this one, something like this, and if I click upload, so these components are provided by the upload thing. All right, so the file started to upload. Okay, so once you are uploading the file, it is not getting the callback because the callback URL, it's being blocked by the versal on the production user can't upload image or assets or all these things, because that's a problem we are facing right now with this upload thing. And we try to figure it out what is the issue, but the callback URL, it's been keep on being blocking. I checked all the YouTube videos and everything, nothing works. And so we finally dropped it, and we are getting back, moving back for the file storage. We are going back with the Firebase itself. So of course in this video we are going to use the Firebase for the file storage alone. We are going to get that URL and we are going to push it to our MongoDB. See, it's keep on loading, and at the end it will return the value as an error. Okay, so but the file will get successfully uploaded, uploaded into the cloud, but we are not getting that URL as a callback because it is returning the callback URL as a HTTP. So that's the reason we are the URL callback URL is being blocking, because it is not secured. It's showing it is not secured because it is coming from the external server. The versal is not allowing you to get the callback URL from the different external server. So that's the reason we couldn't figure it out what's the issue. There are different packages or other packages also, like upload core and upload thing. There are different packages, like just like the same upload thing. You can use any other packages, but in this case we are going to use the Firebase because that doesn't cause any issues for us. So in order to work with the Firebase, let's open the firebase.google.com. Okay, so now go to the console and create yourself your own app. So in this case I'm just going to say YouTube job portal file storage or something like that. Okay, click continue, disable the Google Analytics, and this will take some time, but see, still it's loading. So if you check out the console over here, see we are getting this issue in the network. Nothing is happening because it will constantly recall that callback URL. So that's the reason it's not giving us anything over here. Usually it should return that callback URL. Through that callback URL you should get that download URL, so you can display that image over here, but nothing is happening over here. I don't know why. So that's the reason we are getting into the Firebase now. So here let's create a new web app and let's name this as YouTube job portal file storage. Register this app. Okay, and let's open this, copy this. We need to install this over here, shut it down and paste it and install it. So let's close this, let it install, and let's open up the file storage where it is. Storage, here it is, and let's click get started. In this case we are going to go for the production mode itself. Choose nearby location. If you wish to change it, you can change it. In this case I'm not going to change it. Let me keep it as a default location itself. So now it is creating the default bucket. All right, so it's loading. Here we go. So now let's jump into the rules. So under the rules, by default everything will be blocked. So what we can do is we can change these rules to true, so we can able to upload the files for the later. You need to keep it secured. So in this time being, I'm just going to keep it as true. So click this and click publish, and yep, so your security rules are defined as a public, so anyone can steal or modify or delete your data in your database. Okay, so this is the warning that you're getting. So later you need to view the docs and update your security rules, and make sure only the authenticated user can able to make some changes and all these things. For the time being, it is fine. Okay, now it's perfect. So let's get back over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this, go to the project settings, so where I can able to access this, the Firebase configurations and all those things. So let's get back over here, minimize it. I'm going to create a new file folder over here called config, and inside this config folder, I'm going to create a new file called firebase.config.js. Oops, sorry, not JS, TS, TypeScript. So TS file. So here, let's import the things. So import certain packages from where? From Firebase /app. So what is the thing that we need to do? We need to get the app information, then we need to get the list of apps which have been already initialized, and then we need to get the initialize app to initialize the app. Then I need to get the storage import from, I need to get the Firebase /storage. So from there, I'm going to get this function, which is going to get the storage. So here I need to use this, copy this. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the AI Studio, Google AI Studio, and I'm going to ask the Google AI Studio to generate the environment variables for the Google Firebase config. So we can simply copy this and we can supply it over here, generate the environment variables for this to use on Next.js. So that is going to generate your nothing is happening. There we go. See, it's giving the, but it has been stopping. Why? Unsafe content. Rerun it. Oh, come on. Okay, so here we go. So these are the configurations. So we need to configure this in where? Inside our environment file. This is the place where we need to configure. So I'm just going to okay, so instead of this, so I try to use the Google AI Studio, so we are not getting any proper response over there. So now we are using the ChatGPT itself, so that gives you the proper value which we are expecting. So it's giving you the answer, but it's giving you the different approach by configuring the values, everything through the middleware over here, next config.mjs. But we don't need that. We can simply use the traditional way itself. So I'm going to copy this and then I'm going to paste it straight away right after your database URL. Paste it over here, and we need to replace all these keys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, copy and paste it over here. Then I'm going to copy the auth domain, copy it and change it over here. Then I'm going to copy the project ID, copy and change your project ID. Then I'm going to copy this storage bucket. I'm going to change the storage bucket. Then I need to copy this message sender ID, copy it and paste it. Then you need to copy the app ID, copy and paste it. We don't need this measurement ID, which is not necessary. And let's get back over here and let's open up here and simply copy this and replace this stuff. We don't need this measurement ID. Save it. All right. So here all I have to do is I need to create the app. Const app is equals to get apps dot length. If the length is greater than 0, then I need to get that specific app, or else I need to initialize that app by using what? By using this Firebase configurations. And I need to get the storage. So const storage is equals to get storage by using this app configurations, and at the end I need to get export that storage so that I can use it anywhere I need. Okay, so now let's get back to our page.tsx. Let me close all these things. Okay, I close that page as well as routes, admin, jobs, job id, page.tsx. Here we go. So now here what I need to do is right after this category form, I need to bring the job image, cover image. Okay, so I'm going to create the image form. Image form like that. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to supply the initial data and the job ID just like the same way what we did over here. Of course we will run into issue because we don't have this image form yet. So what I'm going to do is inside this I'm going to copy this title form and paste it one more time. Then I'm going to rename that copy as image form.tsx. And over here, instead of this title form, we are going to duplicate all those things as image form. Save it and let's import it. So we will not run into that issue. Save it. Okay, so let's run the server npm run dev. So over here, all right, so I think we don't have any issues. Okay, so now we have that. It is working perfectly as it's supposed to be. Cool. So now in this image form, what I need to do is first let's customize these things. So I don't need this. Let me change this to job itself from the Prisma client. All right, perfect. All right, then what I need to do is I need to get this title, wherever the term title I've been using. I'm going to change all these things to image URL because that is how I think I defined it in here. So that is the thing which we are going to use. All right, wherever the term image URL it's been used, so it changed. All right. Okay, and inside this default values, of course, what we are going to do is we need to customize this form default values, right? So wait a minute. So over here, if we do have that initial data, let me open the category form because I'm trying to change those upload thing into the Firebase, right? So we are facing this issue. Okay, so instead of this initial data, we are going to get that image URL. So if the initial data dot image URL, keep it that, or else keep it as an empty string. Now we don't get that issue. Okay, so now we can fix that issue now. All right, so on submit and all these things, this is all going to be the chain thing only, so no issues in that. And Okay, job image URL, that is perfectly fine. This is going to be job image, or you can say job cover image. So save the changes. Now you should be able to see job cover image. Okay, so over here we are not going to print any of these things. If it is not editing, this is the place where we need to display that image over here. So if it is not editing, and I'm going to check one more condition, if not initial data image URL, if it doesn't have that initial data dot image URL, okay, then what we are going to do, we are going to check one more condition here. So if it doesn't have that, I'm going to return a division div, and over here if we have the image URL, we need to return one div over here. Save the changes. In this division, now what we are going to do, I'm going to bring the image icon from the Lucid React. So class name, height, I'm going to keep it as 10, width, I'm going to keep it as 10, and text neutral color is going to be 500. And for this division styles, I'm going to say class name, flex item center, justify center, height, of course I'm going to keep it as 60, and BG, I'm going to fix the colors BG neutral 200 and rounded as an empty. Save the changes. This is how it should look if there is no image at all. But if there is an image, then is that the case, then what we need to do, we need to make the position as a relative, then aspect square and empty 2. Okay, so this is not a square size, this is going to be the video size, aspect video, because it is the 16:9 ratio, right? That's the reason. Then I'm gonna bring the image from next image. These things, if only there is an image URL, we need to display that image URL, right? So alternative is going to be cover image. Then we need to fill it. Then class name, of course, width, of course it's going to be full, height, of course it's going to be full, and object it's going to be cover. Then the source, of course it's going to be initial data dot image URL. All right, so right now we don't have any image over here, so that's the reason it's displaying it. Now if I click this, it's going to display this text box. So I don't want to do that. So instead of the text box, what I need to do is I need to display a new component, which is going to be an image upload component. This is the place where we are going to have that image upload component. So let's create ourselves a new component called image upload. Okay, save it. Now of course we will run into an error, so let's go ahead and create a new component inside this components folder, and I'm going to create it as an image upload.tsx, and I'm going to keep it as use client and RAFC image upload, and I don't need this thing. Save it and let me import it over here. So you will get that upload option over here. See, image upload. So we are getting that now inside here. So let's go ahead and create the interface now. So for this, what are the interfaces that we need? So let's go ahead and create that interface. Of course, it is going to be image upload props. Open it. First, it's going to be disabled, and it is going to be the boolean value, and this disabled, of course, it is going to be the optional. Okay, then on change, it is going to be a function, and I'm going to supply the value, which is going to be a string in it, and it is going to return a void. Then on remove, that is also going to be a value, and that is going to be a string, and of course that is also going to return a void. And at the end, I'm going to keep the value, which is going to have a string. All right, these are the props that we need to supply where over here. So image upload props, let's destructure it. and let's apply the disable prop. Then let's apply the on change, on remove, and value. These are the things. Okay. Now, so at some point it might cause you an hydration issue. So we need to fix that hydration issue first. So let's say use state here. I'm just going to say is mounted, and by default it is going to be false. Then I'm going to create a new state over here as a loading state, is loading, and by default it's going to be false. Then upload, we need to calculate the upload progress. So I'm going to create a new progress, and by default its value it's going to be 0, and it's going to carry out the type as number. All right, perfect. Now over here I'm going to create a use effect. So I'm going to call a callback function in it and an empty array injection. Over here I'm just going to say set is mounted as true, and over here I'm going to write an if condition. If it is not as mounted, if it is not true, then return it as null. So this will remove that hydration error. When you will get the hydration error, because the client component needs to wait until the server components are being loaded. So this is the client component, right? So before, if the server components loading successfully, the client component being injected, so that will cause you the hydration issue. So we need to fix that. Okay, so now inside here I'm just going to delete it. Okay, and I'm going to use the value prop. If I do have the value, okay, then I need to bring something. If not, I need to bring something over here too. Okay, the true and false. If I do have that image, what I need to do, I need to display that image, right? I need to display that image. So what is the division where it is? So this is going to be, I need to fix the height. Width, of course, it's going to be full. Height, of course, it's going to be 60. So just like the same way, I'm going to create a div class name. Width, it needs to be full. Height, of course, it's going to be 60. And aspect, it's going to be the video. And position, it's going to be relative, rounded MD. Okay, and flex, item center, justify center, overflow, everything should be hidden. Okay, so here let me enable the word wrap so you can see it clearly. All right, inside here now I'm gonna bring that image from where? From the next image. Okay, so this is going to be full. Class name, of course, which is going to be the width full, height full, and object, of course, it's going to be cover, and alternative, it's going to be the image cover, and the source, of course, it's going to be the value itself. Okay, this is what happens only when you're having that image. Okay, this is going to happen only if you're having the image. All right, so now then what I need to do is, if there is no image, of course, what I need to do, I need to bring that the upload options and everything, right? So right after here I'm gonna bring the exact same division over here. Okay, so width, of course, it should be full, and height and everything, it's going to be like this. And apart from this, I'm gonna say border, and I'm going to use the border as the dashed. Okay, and now you should be able to see that. And bg, of course, I'm going to say neutral 50. Now you should be able to see the thing. Now over here, now what I need to do is, I'm going to check if it is loading. Of course, I need to display the progress options, right? If it is not loading, then what I need to do, if it is loading over here, what we need to do, we need to create something. Let's get the React fragments. If it is loading here, I need to display a paragraph tag, the place where I'm going to display the progress. So let me open it and let me bring the dynamic string literals and let me show the progress dot to fixed. I'm going to display decimal units as 2 and then I need to display the percentage sign. So if it is not loading, then that means I need to display the label. So let's get the label box. Inside the label box, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a div. Class name, width of course it's going to be full, height of course it's going to be full, flex column, and gap it's going to be 2. Item center, justify center, cursor of course it's going to be pointer, and inside here I'm gonna create an image plus icon. Class name, width it's going to be 10, height it's going to be 10, then paragraph, upload an image, save these changes. Now you should be able to see that, and for this it's going to be text neutral 500, something like that. Show the entire division have some faded color. Then right after this division I'm going to bring an input tag which is going to be the file type itself, and of course it's going to accept the image, whatever the image type it is. Then class name, width should be 0 and height should be 0. So we should not able to see that file anymore. Okay, perfect. And on this on change, it's going to have an on change event. I'm gonna call this on upload, which we don't have that. So whenever the on change event is being triggered, we are going to call this on upload event, which is going to be a callback function. Okay, so now if I click this, that is going to trigger it, so I can able to choose the image. Okay, so now let's get back to the Firebase. Over here click this go to docs option, and over here click this build and choose this storage option, and click this web and click the upload files option, so where you can able to see this different upload options over here. In this case we are going to use this option, upload by resumable, where I can switch between the states or all these things. Anyways, we are not going to use these states to pause it, but the most important thing is it will gives you the get download URL. This is the option, so we can use this now. Okay, so what we have to do is, let's get back over here. So this function is going to be an asynchronous function, and this function is going to get an event which is going to be an any type. We can keep it as an any type for the time being. Okay, then over here inside, so I'm gonna get the const, and I'm gonna get that file from where, from this event dot target dot files of 0. You can keep it as an any type, or you can keep it as an HTML event. You can simply copy this and you can ask the ChatGPT over here, open it, how to change the event type to any, from any type to HTML event. So that is going to give you the code. You can see to change the event type of any HTML input element. So this is how you can change it. Okay, so this is how you can change it over here. So what I can do is I can simply say react dot change event, which is going to be HTML input element. That's the type. Okay, so if we do have that, then I need to get that e.target.files. We need to get that index of that. Otherwise, we can simply assign it as a null. Okay, this is how you need to get that if you want to properly validate those type and all those things. Now I have the type, then I'm gonna say set is loading as what? I'm gonna set it as a true. Then I'm gonna create the upload task. So const upload task is equals to, I'm gonna do the exact same thing over here. Okay, So upload task is equals to upload bytes resumable from the Firebase storage. Open it. So then what I need to do, I need to pass the storage reference. So I'm going to use the reference function from the Firebase storage itself. So you need to supply your storage reference, which is coming from our config file, which we exported it. Then I need to supply the location. So basically it is going to be having a new folder called job cover images slash, and here I'm gonna send that data. So I'm gonna set the date, current date dot now, then use this function, and right after here I'm gonna set the file name, whatever the file that it is have file name. Okay, we are going to send that file name. So this is going to be your upload task. Okay, reference. Now you have the reference in your hand, and right after this reference I need to send the file itself, send the file. Then you need to set the content type, what kind of content type that you are setting into it. So content type, it's going to be file dot type itself. Okay, so save these changes. So this is needs to be a file. If it is set to a file, then I don't need to set it as a null value. Let's copy it and paste this to ChatGPT, so that might give you an alternative. So what is the issue that we are getting over here? So this might get, copy this, so you can paste it over here, so that will gives you the alternative code. All right, so let's copy this now. So if it doesn't have that file, we can simply return it. Now the type error has been gone. Okay, all right, so then what we need to do, we are over here, still we are getting the issue. Okay, we don't have that set that props and everything. Okay, let's find right after here. Now we have that all those things. So if you check it out over here, so we need to trigger this function. So upload task dot on that state changes. Whenever there is a state changes, it's going to give you three different function number 1, and callback function number 2, and callback function number 3. So in this first function, we are going to get the snapshot, and you are going to get this progress, snapshot progress. This is the one, this one. Okay, so I'm going to set that to our progress. So set progress, assign it to that. Okay, and on the second function, of course, you are going to get the error. Okay, you're going to get the error. So if you want to handle those errors, so you can use the toast dot error, and I can simply say error dot message, whatever the error message, you are getting it. And the last function over here, this is the place where you're going to get that download URL, and I'm going to supply that upload task into it. I'm going to get that snapshot, then I'm going to get that reference from it, and that is going to return a promise. Then I'm going to handle it, and I'm going to get that download URL from it, and I'm going to create a callback function in it, and that function it's going to pass that to the on change event which we have created, on change function, and I'm going to supply that download URL into it, and then finally I'm going to set that set is loading as false. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. So once all these things, I'm just going to say toast dot success image uploaded, something like this. Okay, so I hope this should fix all these issues, and let's get back to this Okay, so here now what I need to do is, this is the most important part, so try to understand here. So we have this value, right? For the value, what I'm going to set, I'm going to set the field dot value, form field dot value. Then I'm going to set on disabled is equals to is submitting. Whenever the form is submitting, it's need to be disabled. Then on change, on the on change, I'm going to call a callback. I'm going to supply this function, and I'm going to call this field dot on change event, and I'm going to supply that URL into it. Then I'm going to do the same thing for what? For on remove. I don't need this, and simply I'm going to set this value as empty. So save these changes, and let's get back over here. And now if I click this, if I choose this image, and if I click this, it will start uploading. You can say 100%, and it is finally uploaded, and you're getting the callback URL. If you want to make sure, you can get back over here, and you can go to the storage, and as you can see, job cover images, and inside that you should be able to see this image. And this reason is because you need to configure your host name. So copy this and get back over here to the next config.js. Okay, so here you need to configure your host name. So because it doesn't allow you to directly use any external images from the different servers. So here I'm going to get the images, open it, and I'm going to set the remote patterns, open it, it's an array. I'm going to set the host name, which is going to be this firebase.storage. Okay, so now if I refresh it, and I can able to upload one more time, edit it, upload it, and if I click this, you should be able to see we have that image. Now the user doesn't have the privilege to delete it and re-upload it. Okay, so if you check it out over here, now we should be able to have two different images. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the delete option as well. So let me get back over here, the place where we are displaying the image. This is the place where we are displaying the image. So right after here, what I need to do is I need to display the delete option as well. So right after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a division class name, which is going to be absolute, and of course it should be always on the top. Then it should be on the top right corner. Enter. I'm going to bring a button, which is going to be the size as an icon itself, and the variant, of course, it is going to be the destructive variant. And inside here I'm going to bring the trash class name. It's not enough, I think so. Now we should be able to see we having the trash, and the yep, so the size of this class name, of course, it's going to be window double width 3, height 4. So now it is perfect. Okay, so for this I'm going to say cursor as a pointer 1. Okay, so now for this, what I'm going to do is on click, whenever I'm clicking this, I'm going to call this on delete function. Okay, so that function is not yet created, so we have to create that function. So let's go ahead and create that function now. So over here what we are going to do is, so const on delete function, which is going to be a callback function, open it. Okay, so here now I'm just going to have a function. This function needs to receive the URL. Okay, so we need to receive the URL. So but that URL is already updated in the value itself, right? We can directly use that. Okay, so what we can do is right after here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it first. So using on remove function, I'm going to remove that function which is coming from where this on remove function, which is coming from here in this prop. Okay, so let's supply the value itself, value. Then I'm going to delete this object from where? From the Firebase itself. So on delete, so which we need to supply the reference, supply the storage reference, then supply the value, which means your URL. If everything is done properly, then it's going to return a promise, and I'm going to call the callback function, open it, and I'm just going to say toast dot success. I'm just going to say image removed, save the changes. And now if I click this, it should say image removed. And if I get back over here and if I click this, you should see only one image which is active there, because now uploaded image, it's been deleted. Let's check it out. Let's delete this image too. Delete it, and let me start uploading a new image. Any image over here, click it. It's showing 10% or 32. It's uploading 100%. Perfect. An image is uploaded. We got the toast notification and you can see the image is uploaded. Let's get back over here, click it, and you should be able to see the image is being uploaded. And the delete option is also working perfectly. Let's check that too. Image removed, and let's get back over here. You should not able to see this image anymore. Yep, that image is being deleted now. Let's upload it. Upload it. Perfect. Okay, so now if I click the save option, what should happen? This image will be passed and it should upload this. If I click save, image job upload updated, and you should be able to see this image. Even if I click this, you should be able to see that image. Okay, perfectly fine. And if I do the same thing for the category as cloud computing, if I click save, job updated, you should be able to see the cloud computing, and by default cloud computing will be displayed. All right, so we successfully finished the job, cover, image, categories, and the title, and let's go ahead and start doing the rest of the stuff.